Greetings, fellow members of the IJA. I'm delighted to be joined in the August blog by Judge Jennifer Johnson, who is a co-chair of the IJA's Educational Programming Committee, along with Claire Kish. Good morning, Jenny. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Good morning, Justice Overstreet. Of course, I am a judge here in the 22nd Judicial Circuit, which is McHenry County. If you're familiar with Groundhog Day, then you will be familiar with our square in Woodstock. Our courthouse doesn't sit there anymore. That's not where I am. We're a little bit removed, but that's where I am and where I'm assigned as an associate judge.
Very interesting. I've seen Groundhog several times. I did not know that. So thank you for that tidbit, Jenny, and for joining us. You know, you, along with Claire Kish and Janelle Christensen, released a video last week that we mailed to our members on August the 2nd concerning our theme this year, specifically judicial independence, celebrate our past. And I thought it was fascinating. Tell us how the video came about and how you determined the cases that you used and discussed.
Sure. Well, with most things that are successful, we had help. So we had the good fortune of being introduced to John Lupton. And Mr. Lupton, as I think you know, is the executive director of the Illinois Supreme Court Historic Preservation Commission. And he is a gentleman who has a wealth of resources and some very good thoughts. And he helped us kind of hone in on separation of powers issues as they had been decided throughout history and gave us a lot of different choices. There's great examples out there. The three of us put our heads together and tried to find a couple of cases that spanned our past that were representative of separation of powers issues and gave us some good examples that we thought our members would enjoy to hear about how our judicial independence has been carved throughout our history.
I found the cases most interesting that you discussed, and the case that you discussed was In re Day from the Illinois Supreme Court case, 1899. It particularly caught my fancy because I'm privileged to serve as the liaison to the Character and Fitness Committee and also the Illinois Board of Admissions to the bar. And this case was related to both of those entities as far as their predecessors. Can you tell us a little bit about why that case was important?
Exactly. You're exactly right. It's an oldie but a goodie. In re Day has some fun aspects. It's named for the fellow who his name was actually Bay, but due to a misprint, he's always known as Day. But it really at base speaks to the judiciary's power and responsibility to control admission to the bar and draws a clear line to tell the legislature that you can't create your own set of rules as to how lawyers are going to be licensed. So that's the judiciary's province, and that case kind of laid that out.
Very interesting. You know, the case Janelle Christensen discussed was Rock versus Thompson. This is a more recent case from the Illinois Supreme Court, 1981. And what a political tale of intrigue I found it to be. And it was resolved by the court in favor of the Senate Democrats and the Senate President candidate, Philip Rock, and against Governor Thompson and his determination that a Senate President could be elected by a majority of those present to vote and not by a majority of the senators in total. And there's a tell about how all that came about and why not everyone was there. But anyway, I found it fascinating. I encouraged everyone to read that case as well, Rock versus Thompson. It's a mandamus action. You know, I found there's a story, you won't find it in the case, but I guess John Lupton provided me this tidbit of a quote or something that Philip Rock said shortly after the case was decided.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And Janelle talks about it in the video. We had access to actual transcripts from the proceedings. And so Mr. Rock expressed to then Governor Thompson in his maybe not so polite way, telling him to pretty much butt out of the legislative business, hoping that he never comes back. So, sometimes we show the best side of ourselves. I think this was his way of just wishing Governor Thompson well.
No, I thought it's a funny story, and I'm sure Governor Thompson had a reputation for a good sense of humor, so he probably appreciated the comment. I met Big Jim when I was a junior in high school, and I was working for the Vernoy News, our school newspaper, and a buddy of mine, we were able to interview Big Jim, but I say interview. I started to ask questions. I had a little handheld tape recorder, and the governor just took it from me and just proceeded to talk for the next 5 to 10 minutes. So I didn't really ask any questions, but he had plenty to say, and that was a thrill for me at age 17.
That sounds like a thrill. Thanks for sharing that.
Oh no, that's fun. I've got a picture of Big Jim and myself and my friend Bill Meyer. I carry that picture around on my phone.
I was going to say, does this tell us why you're not a reporter, Justice Overstreet, and how your path changed?
Yes, after that story, I decided to write sports my senior year, and my path did change. But very good. Now, there was a third case that was discussed in the video by Claire Kish. Can you tell us the importance of that case?
Yes, absolutely. And this is a more recent one. So this is the Justice Jorgensen versus Blagojevich case. And so it's circa 2004. So a lot of judges may remember this. This was an attempt by the governor and the General Assembly not to pay the judiciary the COLA, or cost of living increase. And Judge Stuart Noodleman and then Judge Jorgensen, now Justice Jorgensen, who was at the time the AJA president, filed suit on behalf of the judges who would have been entitled to the COLA. And as you know, and many judges who are members will know, our Illinois Constitution prohibits the other branches from cutting our salary. And the reason that is there seems to be for a really important reason. We do not want the other branches to have the power to stop paying us in retribution for unpopular decisions. We don't control our own funding. We're dependent upon some other things to fund our branch. So it was a really milestone and important decision, and took some brave folks to bring that case and to hear it and litigate it. So kudos to those folks.
Very good. I'm glad that case was included, and I enjoyed the discussion. And of course, we all know Ann Jorgensen, former president of the IJA. You mentioned she was the named party of the case. What else is the Educational Programming Committee working on?
Well, we are working on our December programming. So you know that we have a mid-year joint meeting with the ISBA, and it happens in Chicago. We're going to have it at the JW Marriott again this year. That's where it was last year as well. And the Education Programming Committee provides some CLE for lawyers who attend, and we love to have the bench and bar gather together for this education. Our focus is on judicial independence. We plan to do a couple of things. We're going to pull some current examples from the media that kind of strike us about how judicial independence is either being attacked or interfered with potentially. So folks see it right away. We're going to host a discussion about the way that we select justices and consider benefits and drawbacks to the systems that are in place. And we're also going to give lawyers in attendance a case law update so that they have a solid idea of the separation of powers issues that are being debated and decided in our highest court today. Things like Safety Act, BIPA, assault weapons ban, so that folks really do understand that these issues, as old as they are with us today, and they're with us during the entire experiment of democracy.
That's going to be a great program, and I know you're going to have a variety of viewpoints on some of these topics, and the election of judges, for example. And so I really look forward to attending the programming. I know it was excellent last year. I mean, I was able to be a part of it. I also got to observe some of the other presentations. So thank you so much for your work on it.
Absolutely. Thanks for checking in with us. We appreciate it.
By the way, the luncheon, Dave Ellis is going to be our speaker. So just confirmed that yesterday. So
Excellent. I do look forward to that.
Besides being a great judge, a great author, and he's got an interesting history. So look forward to hearing from whatever Dave Ellis decides to talk about at the luncheon. He also, I know after the mid-year meeting, do you have any plans in the spring looking ahead?
So those are evolving, but we have started with the past in August. We're going to look to the present in December. And you guessed it, we're going future for our spring programming. We may take a look at social media and how that impacts judicial independence. That's one of the ideas on the table, but more to come on that.
Okay, look forward to it. Thank you so much. Now, if you haven't watched the video, I'm speaking to all of our members, that was emailed out on August the 2nd. I encourage everyone to do so. It's a great history lesson and a reminder of the critical role that we play as judges in our democracy as one of the three co-equal branches of government. I applaud all judges in our state and as we exercise our judicial independence to the best of our ability without being swayed by public clamor or fear of criticism. Well done, Judge Johnson and your colleagues on this video, and we thank you to John Lupton as well for his work on this project. I wish all of our members a great month. Jenny, I wish you a great month, and I hope to see many of you at Race Judicata on August 31st. I'm hoping to make it up there for that. Are you a runner?
Oh, you know, I'm a jogger. I'm pretty slow, but I do get out there.
Me too. Maybe we'll run together.
Sounds like a plan.
Thanks for being with me, Jenny. And again, look forward to seeing all of our members at future events. Have a good month.